The last point is, it's funny enough, it's a bit like the Mongols one. Because it's only because the Mongols exist that everyone's just chilling on this team. But look, we have a Mongols in fucking Europe, sort of, depending on what you want to do politically with how it works. It's called Eternal Fire. Bro, this team is fucking... I would put this team in a group stage. I think there might be like 2 teams in the whole world I could actually feel confident would beat them. Like, even then I might get tense for a map or 2. They can cook so many fucking teams. They could take your FaZe clans, your mouse... They can just actually, not even just beat them, actually clap them. They can come in there, Xantares peak, Woxic win a clutch, Jota just have like fucking outfrag the second best player on the other team, it's just a new addition. You can, by the way, Anubis, they're actually just the best team in the world on that map. Like, quite literally, a map that like only a couple of teams even ban, by the way, because everyone bans Train or Vertigo back in the day. They can always get that in a series, so you are guaranteed an electric atmosphere in a match. But, and by the way, and then also, Xantares is one of the most underrated players of all time. He is one of the best riflers in the world. Even at his age, he's still fucking sick. You would never know that was his age. You would assume he's 25 tomorrow, right? This guy, I want to see him actually have a chance to win an MVP award. He's never going to get that if he can't make it to the motherfucking playoffs. He's never going to get top 5 on HLTV. He's like a liege. They're always going to have that, oh, congrats, there's 18th. It's like, me, I'm better than like 10 people above me. The problem is I don't have a chance. The problem with Eternal Fire is, bro, you drop them into an arena and fucking hell, the stage just keeps swallowing them. Or it just like, they never quite can get the game over the line when it's close. And the reason it actually sucks is, and also, by the way, they've also got their own like massive rabid fan base that couldn't, I'm no doubt, fill like a fucking semi-final stage and go crazy with the atmosphere. If you don't know, if Turkish football's crazy, it's all flares and fucking flags and super ultras and shit like that. That's like, literally, people say it's like some fucking war vibes over there when you go to a derby game, etc. So I actually, despite what people think about me thinking about like their fans and their fucking own and all that shit, I actually like to watch this team play. I want to see them come with that full like fucking haymaker style into the playoffs, and I don't want to see them just in a group stage knockout phase and then do nothing in the play. I want to see them actually come and knock the fuck out of like a top 5 team in a semi-finals and just go to the final, and then let's see Xantares cook. So I think I have to put it as ugly because I don't think it's as bad as Mongols, but at the same time it's like, bro, I'm keep waiting. We're all pulling for you to do it, for fuck's sake. We actually want this team to be a legit top team. Remember, they've been high in the rankings even because of some of their placings, so it's just time. It's time for Eternal Fire to do it in the playoffs in an arena.
I think the fun part about this is that to me, it's almost the head-to-head between Mongols and Eternal Fire, because I almost feel like there's only room for one of them. You know, they're both trying to, like, they're having this uptick at the same time. They've got some of the same issues. One team is incredibly young, the other one not so much. But I just, you know, that to me, like, that's the rivalry that I'm actually cheering for in 2025 the most, is that head-to-head. Because, like I said earlier with the Mongols, eventually they're going to miss out on a playoffs. That was Eternal Fire this time. That was their event that they just did it at now, right? Like, this is a team that did go head-to-head in playoffs at a stadium in Katowice, just one event ago. Eternal Fire, you've cashed in your one-off. Mongols still kind of get that get-out-of-jail-free card. I don't think Eternal Fire can continue to keep on choking, but what makes me nervous is that over time, that's what happened in 2024, right? Remember, they started strong in Katowice. Yeah, they had PGL at the major in Copenhagen was another good event, but it's the in-betweens that they really were not able to keep consistency at, and that's what scares me, is it's like, they've already kind of had an extra year of runway. Even though I'm drawing this comparison between them and the Mongols, they showed us more promise in 24 at the start of it, and then there was just irrelevancy. So the problem with that team for me is, like, in some of their biggest moments, it's actually still been Major, who just, like, he's the guy that doesn't choke. Like, he got them into the Royal Arena at the Copenhagen Major in their last qualification game for playoffs. He was hands down the best. And it's like, you're not getting that kind of performance out of him all the time, because you shouldn't. You shouldn't have to. And then, like you're saying, Duncan, when they get on the stage, dude, the whole team just disappears. So, yeah, it's ugly. That's for damn sure. But I think that hopefully this year won't. My promise is that for 2025, it's them or the Mongols. But I would like to think that it's going to come from this Xantares Woxic duo. In that, like, once Xantares can make it click once, then I think the streak occurs, dude. I think they're one good event away, hopefully, because in stadiums, let's just go back to Bounty. Like, no problem there. You know, it is specifically stages and stages only.
Yeah, and studios.
You can write them off easily.
Yeah. I like the way, even though it's actually just completely arbitrary, he just decided, like he was in fucking Squid Game or something. The problem is, Mongols in Eternal Fire, only one of you may progress. You must battle each other.
I know.
Why is this a new condition? Okay.
Yeah.
It's like Vince McMahon or something. Like the loser leaves town.
Only one nationality.
You know what I'm saying, though, right?
I know.
It just feels like when like Katowice's and Cologne's are 16 playoffs or like there's 8. You know, it just feels like they're 7th and 8th, and that's not always going to happen.
Listen, it's like you said on that analogy before. If you think back in the day about all the up and comers, there was you and Launders, there was Harry and Hugo, there was Vincent Dost. Not everyone's going to make it. You know what? Some of the little fucking turtles die on the beach. They get picked off by the gulls. You know, I just hope some of them get in the water. I'm with you, bro. You made it. It's all good.
It's it sucks to see because it felt like Eternal Fire, for narrative reasons, they come in to the grand finals of the Blast Bounty, predictably lose to Spirit, even though they took them down on Anubis.
Yeah.
They make it to the playoffs of Katowice. They lose to a Mongols team that, at the time, I was rating the Mongols decently, so I wasn't super upset with Eternal Fire there. But then to see them lose to Falcons, who again, like we're calling these legit teams, but they're not elite teams. No. And the thing is that Eternal Fire was on the cusp of being elite. That's what annoys me the most about this. That you've now made 3 consecutive, I would consider, deep runs at the only 3 events that have mattered this year thus far, and to pretty much fall at the first hurdle in 2 of them at that moment shows that it is the moment that's getting to you more than the teams. Because you lose to one of the Mongols and Falcons, I'll give you a pass. You lose to both of them, there's something going wrong here. So that's something that they clearly have to address. The stats say that that Xantares is doing well in these moments. I haven't felt his impact as strongly in these kinds of games. I think individual maps for him, I remember him really tapering off versus the Falcons, for example, like map 3 nuke, he was just nowhere to be found whatsoever. So it's a little bit of everybody. I can't really whereas the Mongols answer for me was so simple that it's just like, Senzu's got to get his act together. For me, I think it's something a little bit deeper. I guess if I have to speculate, or like not speculate, but things I've kind of noted while watching these games, I don't think they're running plays as fluidly as they did in group stages. Like, this was kind of a heroic problem when they were on their come up, but then they had their chokes in big arenas, is that it didn't feel like the defense was as active. Like Anubis versus the Mongols, I feel like they were just kind of turtled in bomb sites more. But like, one thing that I noticed in group stages, even watching them play the Blast Bounty against Spirit in a studio environment, is that they kept running CT plays. They were like, go. They were like pushing canals, pushing B, pushing A, like trying to do something in mid. Like Xantares would walk through mid, but like when they played the Mongols in Katowice on Anubis on their CT side, it just felt super static. So that's something that I would keep my eye on for the strategical side of this. And I think that's fixable, but like, players are just playing worse too beyond that. Like, even in moments that are, regardless of like what the strat is called, it's just they're not like, Jota looks like he could be a top 20 player this year, which I knew he was okay. I didn't think he was this good until I watched him in studios. So yeah, get it together, because to see Xantares again kind of lower on that top 20 than you think, it feels like it rewrites history in the wrong way.
By the way, also, the other thing, the reason why both Mongols and Eternal Fire are the ones to highlight is, it's not like they're just not good enough, and can they get to a semi-final? No, if these guys ever get over this hurdle, they are going to like be in the finals, or like win an event, or fuck around and actually beat the best team in the world. So all we need is that little switch to flip, and everything in CS will be better.
All of the moments for Eternal Fire that have been good have been, think of ESO Pro League, where they came into the grand finals against Na'Vi. They pushed them, by the way, in a light studio environment.
True.
CCT Global Finals last year online, where they took down Liquid for a huge-ass prize purse. Like, it's all these low-pressure environments.
Bet Boom.
But then Bet Boom, they did well also. Taking down, was it Mouse there?
The final, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, they got to the grand final.
Yeah,
all of these like smaller studio environments, they're really good at. Like, they actually, I would almost say this: they're elite. They actually are elite in studios. They're an elite team in studios, but once they're in front of a stage, in front of an audience, a significant audience at that, it's a completely different team.
See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or be a pleb and don't.